ATV News. Logan has a new mayor coming to office, and you'll find out what his plans are for the city. Guilty or not guilty, we'll show you the reaction to the McNeil trial's middle-of-the-night verdict. Ballot boxes were light this year. We'll show you the people's reaction to this mayoral race turnout.
This week on ATV Sports, we're heading back to the corner,
where we talk about Aggie football and how they made school history, as well as basketball in their first season in the Mountain West Conference.
It's been a warmer than average fall, but coming up on ATV Weather, I'll tell you if you need to bust out the winter jacket.
All that plus bonus features coming up on today's ATV News. Welcome to your ATV News. I'm Marie Tietze.
And I'm Victoria Hepworth. Logan City has a new mayor, and he has a lot to do before taking on his new position. Being the mayor is a full-time job, and we went to find out what he's doing to get ready for it.
And Issa, if we don't have enough time, we'll just set another meeting because
Craig Peterson is preparing to take office as mayor. He's beginning to notice that he's already getting really busy, but that maybe it's not such a bad thing.
I'm anxious to get started. I realize that there's going to be some challenges, there's going to be some pitfalls, and there are going to be some people that are going to be unhappy, and hopefully some people that are going to be happy.
He's got meetings, phone calls to answer, and people to meet, and all this he's doing at home. But soon,
Craig Peterson's new office will be here at City Hall.
Current Mayor Randy Watts was not able to talk to us, but Peterson says he's been very helpful.
I think Mayor Watts has been an excellent mayor, and he's done everything that I could have hoped for in terms of helping me to this point. And I have only positive things to say about him.
He helped Peterson set up 11 meetings in the next week with the department heads, but Peterson knows this is just the beginning because there are many things he wants to do, some of which include fix deteriorating neighborhoods, be more citizen and business friendly, be more efficient, spread tax dollars, and have a more hands-on style.
I feel like the new mayor, Craig Peterson, will do a great job. I feel like Mayor Watts did a very good job as well.
You know, it still hasn't quite set in. I think the first part was just a contest. Now I really have to do the work.
Peterson starts on January 7th, and he says he is ready and willing to do the work.
When people casted their votes last Tuesday to elect Peterson and other members of the City Council, the number of ballots didn't even come close to the number of Logan residents. Nearly 50,000 people live in the city of Logan, but with only about 4,500 ballots cast, a small percentage of those 50,000 actually went to vote. Trends show that this is common for an odd-year election. Studies throughout past elections have shown that people are either too busy, don't like the candidates, or just weren't interested in voting at all. We went to find out what some Valley residents thought of this year's voter turnout.
The standard of living in Logan is pretty high, and so there's no driving force to really drive people out there. As long as the standard of living is high, then there's no motivating factor to really get outside of your comfort zone and take the extra effort when life is already really busy as is.
If it affects them personally, then people are going to start caring more. Unless there's a really big issue that is really important to me, like voting on like a tax increase or some big change that's going to impact me.
Peterson got elected with 2,504 votes.
After 6 years of not knowing who was responsible for their mother's death, Michelle McNeil's family was overcome with emotion when the verdict was read last weekend. ATV's Lee Kubik is live in studio with more. Lee?
Thanks, Victoria. Dr. Martin McNeil was on trial for the murder of his wife, Michelle McNeil. The trial is over and the jury has reached a verdict.
Having reviewed the evidence and the testimony in the case, find the defendant as to count 1, murder, guilty.
The trial lasted 3 weeks in a Provo courthouse. After 11 hours of deliberation, the jury reached their decision around 1:30 Saturday morning. Dr. Martin McNeil was found guilty of drugging and drowning his wife on April 11, 2007. Michelle McNeil's family cried once the verdict was read at their father's trial. McNeil is being held at $1 million bail until sentencing. McNeil faces 15 years to life for the murder, but it's likely that he will appeal the ruling. Back to you, Victoria.
Thanks, Lee. Still to come. If you drink soda, you may be in for a big surprise on the Utah State campus next year. And video games will show you how much it can affect a marriage.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Gone. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Text the name Terry to 69222 for a sympathetic pep talk.
You show people what you really are.
Or for a gentle pep talk, text the name Deborah.
You know you're going to make people very proud of you.
And if that's not enough, text the name Danny for an extreme pep talk.
Prove everyone wrong. Show them you're the boss.
Get your GED pep talk and find free GED classes. Text the name of the person you want a pep talk from to 69222.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back. When you return to campus in January, you're probably going to notice some changes, some very blue changes. USU is making the switch from Coke to Pepsi products. ATV's Eric Jungblut is live to tell us more about what this means for your daily caffeine fix. Eric?
Must come to an end. Pepsi won the bid against Coke, and that means Coke products and advertisements are going to be removed during winter break and replaced with Pepsi products.
Enjoy that bottle of Coke while you still can. Come spring semester, things are going to be as red around USU.
Everything that now says Coke will soon say Pepsi. So it becomes a Pepsi campus. It's been a Coke campus for 12 years, and now it'll become a Pepsi campus.
USU Dining Services put out an RFP, or request for proposal, and Pepsi won the bid. By next semester, the campus will be nothing but Pepsi products. And it won't just be the sodas that are changing.
So Rockstar's Pepsi's drink. And then water, you got Aqua Vista and Aquafina is pretty much what they carry as opposed to, instead of Coke's, Dasani. Gatorade will be here instead of Powerade. So it'll be a good change.
And with this change, all Coke advertising will have to be removed from campus. The switch from Coke to Pepsi is going to happen so fast, you'll hardly notice it.
Some changes will occur before the students leave for Christmas break. Most changes will occur, at least in dining services, after the students are gone, and we'll do it over the Christmas break, so when they come back all the changes will be in place. So it minimizes the impact on the students that way.
But what will happen to products like Dr. Pepper, which isn't owned by PepsiCo or the Coca-Cola Company?
Pepsi does not have the rights to sell Dr. Pepper in the bottle or the can, so they don't, but on the fountain we'll have all the Dr. Pepper products, both Dr. Pepper as well as Diet Dr. Pepper.
It's also worth mentioning that Pepsi is donating $500,000 in scholarship money to the university. Now, I spoke with some students and they had mixed opinions on the change. Not all students at USU drink soda. Some drink coffee, maybe juice or water. But for those of us who do drink soda, well, we're just going to have to move on. Back to you, Marie.
Thanks, Eric. Dining Services says Pepsi is paying to remove the Coke advertising from campus, so the transition between sodas won't cost the university money.
Gaming might mean the end of your marriage. ATV's Brianna Bodley shows us how the two are linked.
Some people, they watch football. Others blog, Facebook, scrapbook. Me, I play video games.
For Carrie and Christian Porter, gaming is something they like to do together.
My husband's favorite thing is that he can play the Wii with me and have his arm around my shoulder because You can have the Wii remote separate with the nunchuck.
But in a lot of marriages, gaming doesn't fit quite so well. A new study from Brigham Young University found that more than 65% of spouses who don't play video games say they fight with their husband or wife about gaming, and 75% said their spouse's habit hurt their marriage.
When you stop caring about your real life and start caring more about, that virtual world, that's when it becomes a problem.
And gaming together could be the difference. That same study also found that 74% of the couples that game together said it made their marriage better. Porter says it's what you focus on that can make or break the marriage. And sometimes the trick is being able to just turn it off.
You can restart from your last save point on a game. You can, pick up a new game. But a relationship, you can't just go back.
But if it does become a problem, the couple says it's important to see it from the other person's point of view.
That does have value in their eyes, and I think it's important to recognize that and not necessarily support the behavior, but recognize that it does have a value to them and that it's going to be a process to break away from that if there is problems.
The Porters say if you do game, just make sure it's something you can both enjoy. Brianna Bodley, ATV News.
The study stressed that the results were based on gaming addictions, not just hours played. Construction on 10th West is finally done, which means you now have an alternative to Main Street.
And that makes me happy. Our Jason Borba hit the streets to find out what changes were made.
In 2007, 10th West went from being a county road to a state road, which led to all the changes. UDOT began the $73 million project to widen the roadway to 5 lanes to help traffic move along faster.
We believe to be an excellent project for people who want to skip the whole downtown Logan area and also for the businesses that are resident on 10th West.
The 45-mile-per-hour roadway is meant to be used as a faster alternative to the heavy traffic of Main Street. But as you can see, Main Street is still the popular route.
A lot of folks over time will tire of the congestion on Main Street. They'll seek it out and they'll say, this is really a great alternative. How come we haven't been driving this route?
I'm going to drive on 10th West, starting at 200 North to the intersection of Highway 91 and 10th West and see how long it takes me. And then I'll do the same thing for Main Street. That trip took me 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now let's do the same thing, but this time taking Main Street. The trip from Main Street took me about 5 minutes and 15 seconds, and that was me getting green lights on 4 of the stoplights. So on another day where you get all red, the trip is definitely going to be longer.
Truck drivers now have a better way of getting in and out of Logan without the hassle of stoplights and traffic.
I prefer it because it's faster to go down here than all the stoplights on Main Street.
ATV News, Jason Borba.
The project that began in 2010 was completed 2 weeks ago. City officials are hoping the newly remodeled 10th West will be a better place for large businesses to develop.
When we come back, Brandon Fonda will be bringing you your weather report for Cache Valley.
Right now, the current temperature is 54 degrees.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot. So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she...
Brandon, I noticed it's been really warm lately.
Yeah, I wore flip-flops the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's actually been really warm. It's been warmer than average for this time of year. Let's take a look outside. Outside we can see it's partly cloudy and it is warm, 54 degrees right now, and it is warm across the whole state of Utah. Let's look at our current temps for the state of Utah here. Right now, Logan, we got 54 degrees. Ogden, we're at about 56. Salt Lake City, 57. 52 for Provo. Price is about 52. Delta, 58. And in Vernal, we got about 47 degrees. Let's take a look at our national radar. Over here at the east, clear skies right now. I don't see any precipitation. No clouds. There is a little bit on right here in northern California. What we do want to worry about here is this storm, but it's not going to cause any rain or snow just yet. Let's take a closer look at Utah. So this storm, it's going to dip a little bit in, and that's why we're seeing the cloudy skies right now. But what we got to worry about is there is going to be a cold front. It's going to come through Logan, and we are going to get a storm at about Saturday. I'll show you in just a second our 7-day forecast here. So today we've got a high of 60, a low of 34. Tomorrow, a high of 55. Friday, 54. Saturday is when we're going to start to see that storm. It's going to come in, and we are going to get snow and rain that day. So on your morning commute, be careful. Maybe take out that ice scraper that has been in the car all summer. Try and find that. It's going to be about 40 degrees, low of 27. Sunday, we're going to go down again, 39 and a low of 26. 40 for Monday, a low of 19. Tuesday, we're going to hit 44, and we're going to have a low of 22. So it is going to be really warm, and then Saturday it's going to just dip down, and we're going to have some snow and some rain. So enjoy that warmer temperature right now. Well, you still can, because it's going to get cold on Saturday.
Yeah, it does feel like we need that time. I mean, it's winter now, right?
I know. It's actually been really nice because for Logan, we finally have a fall. Usually it's like Halloween comes and then it's winter, but now we got a little bit of warm weather, but winter's coming.
Awesome. Thank you. When we come back, Eric Jungblad and Bradley Wells take us back to the corner to bring you the latest in Aggie sports.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe to phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Are we ready to go? Live with a human for a while, and you get to know a few things.
Welcome to Aggie Sports Corner, Aggie Faithful. I'm Eric Jungblut.
And I'm Bradley Wells. We've got a lot to talk about in the world of Aggie sports, so let's get started.
It's been a long road for the Utah State football team this season, but with freshman Daryl Garrettson under center, replacing Chucky Keaton, the Aggies have won their last 3 games, including this one at UNLV Saturday, to become bowl eligible. This marks the 3rd year in a row the Aggies will go bowling, but the question remains, where can the Aggies expect to play this December? So, Brad, what do you think? What kind of bowl do you think the Aggies are going to be playing in?
I think they're going to be getting the San Diego Poinsettia Bowl. The reason why I feel this way is because the Aggies are the 3rd best team currently in the Mountain West, which after Fresno State, if they go undefeated, they're going to probably get a BCS berth, and the Las Vegas Bowl is most likely going to take the Broncos for another year.
It's true. I know they really like the Broncos down there in Las Vegas. I'm from the area, and I know that they really like whichever team's fan base is going to bring a lot of money into the city. I think they will pick the Broncos. Personally, I think the Aggies will have a good shot to go back to the Potato Bowl. The Mountain West picked up that bowl. I think it's where they're destined to be.
Yeah, you know, it's most likely going to happen. Moving on, we've got Utah State's men's basketball team. They got off to a great start in their season opener on Friday. The Aggies beat the USC Trojans 78-65 behind the play of several veteran players. The Aggies were bitten by the injury bug last season, but it was a blessing in disguise because it gave USU's bench players some much-needed experience going into the season. But will all of this experience help the Aggies win in a tough Mountain West Conference? Eric, how do you think the Aggies are going to do on the court this year?
You know, I think they're going to do really well. We were ranked number 5th in the preseason rankings for the Mountain West Conference, and I feel like we're much better than that. We had a lot of our players last year, a lot of players coming off the bench. Tanel Rowland, we had some great point guard play. They came off the bench, they got that game experience, and they're coming back this year. I honestly think that we're going to take some of the big powerhouses in the Mountain West Conference down to the wire.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people are underestimating how good the Aggies are going to be with all that experience they got on the bench play. However, one thing I was really disappointed with was the play of Jalen Moore. He was supposed to be this spark off the bench. He is a freshman, so he may have had some first game jitters. But, you know, I feel like he kind of struggled in that first game against USC. So, you know, we've got a lot of good hope for the basketball team this year, though.
I think so. In this inaugural season in the Mountain West Conference, Aggie athletics have fought hard. The soccer team took number 1 seed San Diego State to the semifinals of the conference tournament before falling 3-2. Aggie volleyball holds a 9-5 conference record, including 6-2 at home, and nearly took down number 9 Colorado State. And the women's basketball team started their season in the win column, beating Black Hills State 103-46. Brad, overall, what do you think about the Aggies' first season in the Mountain West? How have they done?
You know, I think they've actually done pretty well. The expectations for the team were probably a little bit low coming from the WAC to the Mountain West. Mountain West is a much better conference in every sport, but they've done a pretty good job doing everything that they've needed to. The soccer team nearly beat San Diego State in the Mountain West tournament, losing 3-2. San Diego State was the number 1 seed and won the tournament. So pretty good turnout so far, and volleyball haven't done too bad themselves.
They really haven't. Like we mentioned, that 9-5 record there in the conference, that's pretty good, plus 6-2 at home. That's a little bit of that spectrum magic for other sports this time. We still have other teams who have yet to play. We've got our spring sports who will be coming up, softball and gymnastics. Softball didn't have a great season last year. I'm not sure if they'll do much better this year. Gymnastics has been solid, but they lost their head coach. It's going to be kind of a toss-up for our sports in the near future, but I think so far we've really made our mark in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The Mountain West Conference is a better tournament, better conference. Our athletics have done a really good job transitioning to this tougher conference. Definitely wasn't an easy task for them to do, but you know, I think we surprised a lot of people with how good we did in the Mountain West.
I really think so too. Well, thanks for joining us on this edition of Aggie Sports Corner. There's more ATV news coming up.
Back to you, Victoria Marie.
Thank you, Bradley and Eric. Coming up, children's art is displayed in a place you might not expect.
And we'll show you the garden oasis that's right here at USU.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Thanks for staying with us, Cache Valley. Third graders from Summit Elementary in Smithfield are now published artists, and their masterpiece is Rolling Around Town. Brandon Fonda was at the school to show us the reveal.
Are we ready to go in? Yes.
These third graders are anxiously waiting.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see this.
Stepping inside this district bus, they are about to see their published artwork for the very first time.
Well, I think it's actually really great because there's going to be people experiencing it.
They drew fish and flowers, lining the walls above the handrails for everyone to see.
So I drew Daisy, and I imagined I had a garden that was like filled with daisies. All sorts of daisies.
And drawing daisies has been a good thing for the school.
Their excitement for the classroom in other areas has also increased as they found success in art.
People in Cache Valley can now see this rolling piece of art, but it took a while. The young artist started this project about a year ago.
So the project started in January, and then it was about a 15-week period. We worked with the students creating art and creating the projects. And the goal was really to have them experience creating art with a professional artist, but then to get their artwork in a public place.
Which she hopes will promote art education in schools.
This is a really great thing, and let's keep the funding for it, and let's support our students.
What will be in the pond that you scared about?
In Smithfield, Brandon Fonda, ATV News.
The art is also displayed on 6 other CVTD buses.
You probably walk past it all the time, but you probably don't know how much more about it than it being just a place for plants. This is the biology greenhouse. The greenhouse has 4 rooms, one for tropical plants, one for cacti, one for ferns and orchids, and another is a teaching lab for students. Carnivorous plants and prehistoric pine cones are other specimens you can see in the greenhouse. And if you're a student, even experiment on some too.
They have their own individual experiments growing in one of the rooms over there across the way. So they have different experiments set up that they'll come in and they work in groups, so they'll just be doing different experiments.
The greenhouse is also home to a small fish pond, giant aloe plants, and a large lime grapefruit hybrid. Students interested in more information can go to biology.usu.edu.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
Make sure to join us next week for more of your Cache Valley news. Have a great day.